to sleep, but oh my. Hi, and welcome to Lulay of Oasis. And today I was about to sleep, but um, this is a problem when you're browsing on your social media and um, you're planning to sleep, but then something would catch your attention. And there is one here that has been shared by one of my friends, and I'll show you screenshot of what was the content of the post that was shared on my news feed or on my wall. Not like judging the person, but probably this would give you my side of interpretation on how people would react, and probably would give you an insight on about the other side of the story. And today I have here lots of love. Now I forgot his name. This is lots of love, smelling strawberry, and for how many videos I haven't shared him with you guys. Um, there's just something that I'm going to be sharing with as my reaction after dinner. But then when I was browsing out my social media, especially on Facebook, something caught my attention, and that is the problem whenever you're browsing your social media. You tend to get attached on some of the news feeds. The problem is that that will be the cost now for the delay of you going back to sleep or going to sleep or whatever. But the main issue that caught my attention is that um, a Filipino who lives in the United States rants another Filipino. There was a screenshot of this girl's post on her social media, I guess. Yes, I think it was from Facebook, I guess. This person now, instead of getting sympathy from the netizens, she got slammed up, being judged because her reaction is like she's the one who's ranting for somebody who is also Filipino on the other line, making sentences, and then people would say now she's doing this, and then now how could she just get angry and then she's posting something that is grammatically incorrect. It is abuse of my time to be on the phone for freaking 1 hour, and it sucked. Yeah, what can I say? It's her opinion, but since she posted it on the social media, then it becomes everybody's business. Now everybody could make comments, and it just so happened that somebody um, made a screenshot of what she posted. So yeah. And I'll be reading you the headline. It says there, Pinay in the U.S. slams Filipino call center agents, calls them idiots who know how to speak English. And says they're a Filipino living in the United States recently earned ire of the Filipino community after she slammed Filipino call center agents, calling them idiots who know how to speak English. The woman was identified as a certain Jenny Cagasa, who posted the rant from somewhere in Mesquite, Texas. In her post, Cagasa calls for the U.S. to bring back call centers back to America. She's requesting to give the post to American citizens and to employ 100% fluent English speakers because the ones she had talked to were clearly not Americans. She said that it was clear from these call center agents' accent that they are from outside US and some were from the Philippines. According to Kagasa, who was clearly fuming, these call center agents might know how to speak English, but they are idiots. She also said it was abuse of her time to be talking to the agent for over an hour, but her issue wasn't resolved because the call center agent didn't seem to understand her problem. Quote, bring call center back to America. Employ 100% fluent speakers. I can tell by the accent that they are from out of states, and some are from the Philippines. It's so frustrating because they can speak English but doesn't seem to understand the problem or the issue. It is abuse of my time to be on the phone for freaking 1 hour, and it suck. Maka-English lang, tanga naman, kasar. Hashtag T-Mobile, hashtag AT&T, unquote. But instead of getting sympathy from netizens, she ended up getting shamed for her harsh words and demeaning rant against the call center agents from her home country's shame. Others laughed at her, calling her a trying hard American, as they pointed out that she was ranting about the call center agents supposedly being idiots, but she made a mistake of her post writing, "It is abuse of my time to be on the phone for freaking 1 hour, and it sucked." Many also said that it was possible the call center agents did not understand what she was saying, as she was probably speaking in a forced accent to act like an American. These comments did not have evidence to back up, of course, but these commenters were simply trying to defend the Filipino call center agents, who are often described as among the best in the world, of course. And okay, story time. When I graduated, before, my first job was a message handler. And back in the day, call center agents were called message handlers or operators. Operators before that, and then it became like, because they're handling messages alphanumeric and they're typing it, so they call it message handlers. Then it came to a point that the business grew bigger, then it became another label that is so-called call center agents. Now, during my time, we had certain trainings, and part from the training that we have is dealing or answering, or there are certain ways on how to answer or on how to deal with certain problems. Now, we were told not to end up giving false beliefs or false promises, so we could only go within the line to some negotiation. It was probably communication barrier when you get frustrated even though you speak the same language. Sometimes you're talking at the end of the line, the other person receives your message in a different way. Maybe the main problem here is not actually um, not resolving the problem of her being the client, but maybe she wanted to say something, but since she's not even a natural born US citizen, if I would say, because the headline says Filipina, meaning she's still a Filipino, probably she's working there and had the chance to live there and um, became a citizen. If this person would actually tell that these call center agents who are allegedly Filipinos, according to what she could identify from their accents, idiots who know how to speak English. When I was being trained as a call center agent, no, as a message handler back in the day, we are just bound to speak in a way that you cannot engage yourself in making promises, and then it's going to be like your words against the other person, and then your words against yourself. Mind you, they are just communicators. It is vague. However, the rant has been made. She once lived in the Philippines, and that it is so harsh to just call or label a certain position based on the accent that you could identify, and then calling such person the nationality, and it's like being stereotype, probably pretend that she knows what she's doing, because the other person on the other end is probably having her own personal issues. I think it's just a matter of miscommunication, and it is just a matter of addressing the issue to the right person. And then they ended up like both frustrated people. Maybe the person could have called her supervisor, could have addressed the issue in a more technical way. As shameful as it is, but we don't know the main issue on how they ended up arguing. This person who made this post, who is feeling irritated according to her, um, actually ended up saying something that is like against what she is posting. It becomes like she's the one who is the laughing matter, according to what I could say. Now, okay, telling you about I'm also Filipino, and I was born in the Visayan area, and I find it easier to express myself speaking in English, and people, especially in Cebu, could understand me. Although I didn't come from Cebu, I came from Samar, so it is easier to express what I would feel, because if I would speak in Tagalog straight, especially if I'm not going to be with my friends but with you guys, the media, I would tend to be cautious, and my accent would be a little funny, and no matter what issue I would say, it will not be taken that seriously. So going back to her, like I agree with the last statement of the news. These comments did not have evidence to back them up, of course, because every story has its two sides, and we only heard about what she's ranting about. Although we don't even know the exact point or issue on why she's ranting. But of course, these commenters were simply trying to defend the Filipino call center agents, who are often described as among the best in the world. And no matter what nationality, most of the expatriates who are working abroad Most of them came, or generally they came from the Philippines, and from the smallest position to the highest position possible that you could see. She could have just leave it off or made the post generalized. Moral lesson is not judge, and since you posted it and it becomes public, so people has the right now to say or react or comment everything. So it's up to her now how she would take uh, the comments from the netizens. Something that would give us a little lesson not to judge, and if you could say so, it's just shameful because a Filipino against another Filipino. And it's like on my interpretation, most commonly, and I can only generalize. Two Filipinos, the other one would probably be on a higher position, the other one is still striving. Most attitude that is not actually glad to recognize is that they would another Filipino would let you feel that I strive for that for this position, and I'm your client, and you should treat me special, because if it wasn't for me, I don't think you'd be able to keep your job. So it's like that's the interpretation that I'm getting. So I feel so sorry for you, Miss Gakasa. Your wonderful smile doesn't even reflect how wonderful your personality would be. I mean, in my opinion, I don't want to be ranted at, okay? So then that's it. That's my reaction for this. And well, actually, I'm just being nice. The whole point of my video is that you couldn't just judge anybody. And like even me, I'm also cautious and conscious on everything that I have been saying, and I'm not sure if I'll be pleasing anyone or if you could also get mad at me. That's why, my eyes are getting bigger now, because it's taking me more than 24 hours to edit this, and it is what it is. Probably you're just having one of your days, or the other person you have spoken to is also having one of her days, and by all means, both of you were not able to reach out with a mutual understanding, and that's why on your frustration, you couldn't get onto any authority that you could point out that your issue is not being addressed properly. So, but next time, I think it's going to be like nicer if you wanted to do a rant just to make it general. If my opinion is actually making sense to you. So, yeah, that's my reaction. And if you're new in my channel, you can like and subscribe, and you can also make your comments. If you don't like my video, you can just skip it up, or you can also make bad comments, whatever, because in Lulay of all aces, you learn nonsense to useful things that you can apply on your daily lives. Thank you for watching. Versus